Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for being first listeners to this on the podcast, or if you're watching this live. I want to invite you guys as a thank you to be a guest on the show. So all you need to do is send me an email. The email is guest@investingyourselfpod.com. In the subject, say podcast series guest, and in the body, just say, hey, who you are, what your podcast is, where you're about. Send me 3 episodes you think I'll enjoy listening to, and then I'll reach out to you and we'll schedule a time for you to be on the show. So remember, that's guest@investingyourselfpod.com. And I look forward to listening to your podcast and then learning about you. So without further ado, let's listen into today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, wait, let me bring this down. There we go. It's a little bit better there. I'm getting a new camera for this. Welcome back. It is, of course, Phil Better, your podcast mogul, where I'm going to help you automate your podcast uh, so that you guys can take a lot of stress off your day. So I've been fooling around with this thing called Airtable and Integromat. Integromat to automate a lot of things, because as a podcast, so that you guys know, I'm running a business, which is my podcast production business and coaching and advice advising company. Jesus, gotta work on this camera there. That's fine. But I also host multiple podcasts, which means I have a lot of things going on in a row at the same time. So if I'm trying to concentrate on one, it's hard to concentrate on the other, and it falls apart like that. So I've been looking for ways to automate most of my things, and because I want to keep things as cheap as possible, I'm looking at free programs and this and coding. Because if you can code, you can build your own thing. And because I'm not yet a coder, I had to figure out other ways of doing it. And there's a great programs like Zapier and Integromat and Airtable. Luckily, found someone who kind of teaches it in a reverse way, and I'm kind of bootstrapping, if you will, this system, so that I can use it on my own and teach it. So Friday, I'm actually giving a mastermind. This is just my first run through. So you guys are getting this before everybody else will be seeing this. So um, let's bring up my screen. So first things first, this is Airtable. The link is in the show notes. If you want, just go, or in the video notes or description, whatever. Airtable, it's a database program. That's all. It's for database. That's how I'm using it. They have templates for stuff. So if you want, event content calendar, digital video production, project tracking, marketing campaign, product catalog, product launch, planning, simple application tracker, user research, event planning, bugs. Like, they have so many stuff here that you can use, and you can download those things into, like, there's legal. Like this, with this template, you can stay on top of your cases, your clients' billing, no matter what. Like, it's just so amazing. Uh, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. Um, I have my own. You can start from scratch. You can quickly upload. You can start with templates, all that stuff. Um, but f- but that's one of them. And then you have Integromat, which is creates scenarios. So I already have one scenario. This is what one of my scenarios look like. This is for build. Here, I want to make this a little neater. There we go. So we can kind of read it properly. Right right there, just like that. All right. There we go. So this is my email sequence that I use through Gmail. As you can see here. If you're listening to this, it kind of is strange, but anyways, it starts with Airtable. It says, hey, if anybody adds a new row, and that row is coming from Google Sheets. So whenever someone fills out a Google Sheet, that the Google Sheet creates and that's the third thing you need. you need to create a Google Sheet. As you can see, I have a couple up here. Well, what happens is I create a form which creates a Google Sheet. That's another database thing, but then it automatically uploads onto my Airtable, the potential this is the invest in yourself guest form. When that populates, it starts going through it starts doing the process, and I have it run. It's currently on. I did a test, so it comes up it comes up the first route, and it checks the filter, and the filter says, hey, have they received an email? And if it goes no, then it goes to the first one where it says a pre-interview email, where I like to talk with my guests and just get to know them, and then it updates the Airtable with something. And I'll show that later. Then the next day when it runs, runs through. It goes, "Hey, does the first email exist? Yes. All right. So we're going to the second one. When the second one says if the first one exists but the second one doesn't, you send out this email, and so on for the three things. So I get them. So whenever a guest that applies, if because my show this specific show is for podcasters, so I like to get any type of podcaster on. I love talking with podcasters about their business or about their podcast, and so I get them into a pre-interview, and if I think the pre-interview goes well and I like the pre-interview, that's when they get the second email, the third, and the fourth email. If I don't feel like the interview went well, the pre-interview would be a good fit, I can do something called bouncing the email. So if it bounces, it doesn't get sent out. But that's something that you can learn on your own, and you can do it through the filters. Um, and you can delay them as well because you want them to delay. You don't want them to be sent like one after another. Like they get the first, second, and third, fourth all in one day. They don't want that. You want to kind of space it out. So I usually do about 2 days for each one. That's my general. That's for one of my podcasts, and that's what I do for guests as well. Wait, got to change that up. I do it for guests as well. This type of thing, not for guests, for clients as well. This is something I build for them, so that they can have it easy and accessible for them. I get them to sign up. Boom, 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 and then they have this, and then I create the template for them, and then I walk through it with them, and they set everything up, and it's so easy that it's set it and forget it pretty much. So it's we're gonna go over how to do it. So we're gonna go back to dashboard. Leave. I don't really care. So first things first, I'm gonna make a random podcast thing. So I'm just gonna I don't know. We're gonna think F. Nope. Gotta get out of there. GI. Let's say we're going R. Random and Ricky. Okay. We're gonna go new folder. This is random podcast. Now going to random podcast. We're gonna create a Google form. Type of name of the form. Random. So we're going to collect certain info. So we want their first name, and we go to short paragraph required. Last name required. Email address required, and then we want podcast name. There we go, and it's required. And then we're like, all right, cool. So that's it. Then we go over to random. Yeah, this is just it. Then we go into responses. We create a spreadsheet, create a new spreadsheet. We're going to call it random answers. Just so that we have it, we will create. Boom, it is great. Now it's created. Awesome. Now we come over to Integromat and we go create a new scenario, right? No, we don't go to, we'll do that later. First, we go over to our Airtable, and we're going to create a um, new table, a new base as they call it. And then it's going to say, hey, get started. Import with Airtable right where you left off with one of the following tools. Google Sheets, paste data, Excel, CVS. So we're going to go Google Sheets. I'm going to take a Google Sheet account. And then we go random answers. We go select. import all fields. Go import. It's importing the data. Boom. So now it has the timestamp, the first name, last name, email address, and podcast name. Boom. It will now set up that. Now we go over random answers. That's fine. We go automation. So we create an automation because we have to create an automation for this. So add a trigger when a record is updated, create a record. We go form response. We go on email address. Create a record. Give me a second. When a rigger here we go. Change trigger. When a row is created in random answers, select form response 1, run test. Why did the test fail? Oh, it needs something. So we're going to go here. We're going to put my name. No, we're going to go there. Phil. Better. Email. Phil Better Inc. at gmail.com. And podcast name, Invest in Yourself. Podcast series. There we go. We go submit. Boom. Go over here. Now, just close this. This has something over here. And over here, we go test again. Successful. Boom. Now it creates from form 1. Go over here. Continue. We go value. And we go email. We go insert. Boom. Go here, continue, insert. First name, last name, podcast. All this is doing is you're making sure, continue first name, continue value, last name, and then podcast. Sorry about that. Continue. Back one. Insert. Boom. So now that's done. You go run test. Boom. So it should work. Boom. Create a record. There we go. Then we go to interfaces. Oops, no. Go back here. Go random. Boom. It says my name. Just like that. It goes Phil Better. Boom, boom. Awesome, right? So we have the basic thing. You have to add a new one here, and it's going to be called the last time, a modified time. You want to put that in specific field. We want the email specifically. If that doesn't, yeah, we want the email. Select. So if we want to know when the last email was updated, that's our big thing. So we know when it's kind of submitted. Like that's what you want. Then over here you go email 1, and it's a single cancel. Wait. Sorry, it's single line of text. It's email 1. Wait, Phil. We're going to say it's a 3 email process. Email 2. Single line, great. And then we have email 3, single line of text. Boom, create. Haha, so now we have our database. So what this will let you do is when the new file comes in, it's going to say, hey, this is the last time it was modified. Then we're going to use it in Integromat to set up an email sequence that similar to what I showed you on mine, you guys are getting it live. So once you started in Google. So what you did was you created a form in Google. You created a sheet or a Google sheet so that it can collect the data. From there, using Airtable, it pulls the data. So whenever there's a new piece of data inside Integromat or in the database, in the show notes, in the Google form, the Google Sheet. Once that's updated, it updates here automatically. And now we're going to build out the Integromat system so that you can see how it works. So we're going to click here. We're going to go over to Airtable. You click the plus sign, hit Airtable. You go watch records. So it's loading. It's like a podcast series. Yes. Base, random answers. It's going to load some tables. We go form once. It goes last modified. Email. View, grid view. There you go. We go, okay. We go all. Boom. So now it will collect any information in there. So anytime the last modified is updated with the email, it will go for it. Then we add a router, flow control, no router up here. And we just need one more. Boom. So we're going to go out here. You can delete those afterwards, but Gmail, search for Gmail. You're going to send a new email. And then you're going to go add recipient, email address, add subject. You can worry about that later. You have to add your connection yourself, and there's a video on it in Integromat how to do it. So I'm not going to go into it, but you can just figure it out. We go okay. Then we go over here, we do Gmail, we go send an email, add recipient is their email address. And then over here, we do the same thing, send an email, add recipient, boom. So each one of these now will send an email. Subject, hey, B. Here it's, you go first name, copy is thanks. Let's get you on the show. Here's the link. Boom. And then the link is there. Okay. Now this one. This one we go listen to the show content. Here you go to make our episode banger. Here, banger. Listen to a few episodes here. Insert link. Okay. And then the final one is leave a review. Hey, first name. Thanks for being on the show. Could you leave a review? Now, this is just an idea. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it any other way. Your email sequence can be as many or as little as you want. Now that it's done, that's boom. So over here, we first have to set up some filters now. So you're going to click on the little wrench filter, set up a filter. Da, 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 da. Email one. Oops, no, email one equals does not exist. Okay. Because over here, you have to do another Airtable. You have to update record. Podcast series base is random answers. Table is form once. Record ID will be ID. No. Message ID. And you're going to go here. Message ID. So this is, you're going to go ID. And it's going to be message ID. Boom. So what that will do is when this email gets sent, it will update saying email was sent. Next, you go over here, go set up a filter, go email one exists and email two does not. It's going to send this one. But also, we're going to go last modify date. For this one, we're going to just do minutes, but you usually do date. Here you go, over here you go last modified, and I'll say 1 day if you want. Okay. So now what this filter does, it goes, okay, first email exists, the second one doesn't exist, and the days from the last modify have to be +1. So it goes, oh, it's not, it's the same day. Boom. Oh no, it's the next day. Cool, we can do it. Then here we go, same sit. Here we go. Email one exists. Email two exists. Email three does not exist. And we go last modified, but we go back here, we go date, day. We'll put that right there, and we'll say 5, whatever. Okay. So now we can go clone, and we can clone this. There's only a bit of work you have to do. Once you finish cloning it, you just go random, or you put your base name, your table in. Your record ID is always the ID. Then you go down to email 2 in this case and message, and you go, okay. And then you do the same for the third one. Base is random for this. Form response. Record ID is ID. And then email 3 is messages. And we go, okay. So now, theoretically, if I'm going to save this is how it's going to work. Since I have one already there, I'm going to go run once. It's now thinking, it's looking, it's like, oh, it found one. Cool. It meets all the requires, and boom, it just emailed it. So if I go to random answers and I string over here, we have information that it's been applied. So now it's like, oh my God, it works. So now we want to see the email, right? Obviously. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go into my Gmail. And I got it. Phil, let's get you on the show. Here's the link. All that we did that in about 20 minutes, we'll say, was create an automation now that I'm going to be getting. I can delete this because I don't need it. And I'll just minimize that. All I'm going to get is every time I put in something, someone enters information here, it's going to populate here, which will cause this, once it's turned on, if I turn it on, to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, something, then it's going to go over here. So you see it's one, done, done, done. Tomorrow, it's going to check. If I set it up for tomorrow, always at the same time, like my other one, it's going to check, boom, 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 boom. It's going to say, okay, does it meet the criteria? No, stay back. Meets the criteria, boom, send. So we'll see it. And in 3 days, wait, the delay on this one was what again? I think it's 5. We're gonna, yeah. we'll turn this to, so bundle one, boom. Yes. Oh my God, I love it. So yeah, there you go. It's running and everything is good. Boom. And it's good to go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can automate your email outreach so that like all you have to do is paste and then you're like, okay, cool, it's going to take care of it. And you don't have to. Obviously, your copy needs to be better and all that in your flow. But this is a way that you can have a dedicated space to know about different podcasters who are coming on or different guests that are coming on your podcast. You also can use it for business. Figure out how to use it for business and that. But just remember, it's super easy. And just like that, you have an email sequence that updates on the things so you know that the emails are being sent. And yeah, if you're interested, I am hosting a mastermind on how to monetize your podcast, how to grow your podcast, and obviously you can use this to grow your podcast. If you're interested in that, please do let me know. There could be a link in the show notes down below or in the description about signing up for an email for that. And yes, I will be completely honest. It's going to be run through this, and so you can see how well these sequences do. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for watching, very much for listening. I got some comments. Who's watching this? I don't speak that. I don't know what this language is. I am sorry, Seraphim. I don't understand. I don't understand. But thank you for watching. I didn't know you were watching it. It told me I had no watchers, but if you're still watching, thanks. And yeah, Integromat is show notes, and the Airtable is in the show notes. I thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and yo, like it's amazing that you guys are watching and all this stuff. So I thank you so much, and wish you a pleasant day. Hey, everybody. I want to thank you so much for watching the show and listening to the podcast. As a thank you, remember, you can always head over to my website, feelbetterinc.com, and get free 15 minutes with me to talk about how you can grow your podcast, how to monetize your podcast, or even how to start your podcast. I have helped lots of people, and I want to help you do the same for your business or just for your personal brand. So again, that is feelbetterinc.com. Head over there, book your free 15 minutes, and it'll be a pleasure to help you out. Have a good night, and remember to invest